All right, so hello. Hope you guys are having a good start of your week so far. Good Memorial Day. Obviously today we didn't meet for class because it's a holiday, and so I just wanted to take an opportunity to sort of go over a lot of the stuff that I would go over with you during class, kind of get you prepped for this week and prepped to look forward with regards to what we're going to do next week with the text, with this week's text. All right. So if you go here under classwork, I just want to walk you through what we're doing. I want to go over the standards and learning targets with you first. All right, so this is week 6. Slowly popping up. All right. So if you look, we have 2 standards that we're really dialing in on this week. One is RL 910.3, and that's asking you to analyze complex characters and how they develop over text, how they interact with each other, and how they advance the plot or develop a theme. In addition to that, we're going to be looking at a writing standard, your ability to draw evidence from a text, in this case, a literary text, to support analysis, reflection, and research. So these are the 2 standards. So if we look at them as far as learning targets are concerned, this week I'm asking you to identify significant interactions between Haverly, who's the main character of the story that you're reading, and her mother in the first 3 paragraphs of Rules of the Game by Amy Tan. And number 2, I can analyze what the interactions between Waverly and her mother suggest about their relationship. So that's our learning targets. That's what we're really dialing in on. So there's that. All right, so rules of the game. Let me go over this with you. So, Rules of the Game by Amy Tan is a short story about primarily 2 characters. We got Waverly, who's our protagonist, our main character. This is a first-person narration, so she's speaking throughout. She's narrating the story. We have Waverly, and then we have Waverly's mom. And they live in California. They live in San Francisco. And what this story really is about, and what I really want you to focus on as you're reading it, is the interaction between American culture and Chinese culture. So this is really a story about cultural differences, and interacting in a world in which you don't quite fit in. Interacting in a world where your family has different expectations for you than maybe you have for yourself, or society that the society that you live in has for you. So this text is really looking at those sorts of interactions, those sorts of conflicts. Pay close attention to, as you read this, to the way Waverly and her mom interact with one another. It's going to be important in our conversations next week. Actually, it's going to be one of the things that we primarily focus on next week. So what I'm asking you to do is read through this, but please read through the whole thing, okay? It's a little bit lengthy, but you have all week, okay? So please read this whole story. It's a very interesting story. There's a lot of good character moments, a lot of good interactions, and make note of that, all right? Your 2 assignments. Assignment 10 is asking you to annotate, okay? The annotation, go here. And if we take a quick look. Okay, so if you look here, what do you learn about the narrator in these paragraphs? What do you learn about the narrator's mother in these paragraphs? As you read, I want you to annotate the first 3 paragraphs of the text. Now, you'll notice that under assignment 10, I included a copy, okay? So you're going to click on this, you're going to open it, you'll have your own copy, and you're just going to comment. You're going to make comments the way that we did for our poems, okay? You're going to highlight the part that you want to make note of, press comment, and then write your annotation, whatever that might be. Beyond that, I need 3 instances of what you learn about the narrator, 3 instances of what you learn about the narrator's mom. All right. So that's our first test. Really, the whole goal of this is to get you acquainted with these characters, to really get you to know who they are and how they're interacting with one another. So if we go back to our learning targets real quick, this first part is really looking at identifying. Okay. So in annotating, I really want you to focus on this first learning target. I want you to identify these interactions between Waverly and her mom. All right. That's really the focus there. All right. When you finish with that, we have some text analysis questions. Same sort of thing as we normally do. We've got 7 questions. These questions are really going to hone in on this second aspect of our learning target. I mean, it's going to have the first one in there as well, but it's going to really hone in on this analysis, analyzing the character interactions between Waverly, our protagonist, and her mother, and figuring out what that suggests about their relationship. If you look, looks like this. You're going to type your answer underneath. I probably should have written this down, but it would be easier if you use either a different font, different color, something like that. So if you could do that, that just makes it easier to see what your writing is versus what the questions are. But yeah, you're going to answer them. Please answer them in complete sentences. How long your answers are depend on the nature of the question. Please include quotes where it makes sense. If you do include quotes, please make sure that you cite them. This question down here, I bolded it because this question requires a little lengthier of an answer. This is going to be the basis of our discussion for our next Zoom class. Okay. So really make sure that you are putting effort into this. Find at least two pieces of evidence to support what do the interactions between Waverly and her mother in the first 3 paragraphs suggest about their relationship, because that's really what's important here. So that's the assignments. Obviously, if you need help, let me know. But what I'm thinking is, as I look forward to next week, which will be the beginning of June, which is exciting, first week of June, so we're almost done. What I'm going to be looking for is we're going to find a way digitally to have a big Socratic style conversation. Okay. So when you come to class next week, please be ready to discuss. Again, it's going to be recorded. Participation is not optional for that conversation. Okay. I want to try to do a Socratic circle style conversation with you guys through Zoom. We'll see how it goes. But the 2 expectations as we go into next week, the 2 expectations I'm going to have for you is that A, you're willing to speak, because I need you guys to be able to, talk. But 2, please, I would like to see your faces. Okay. In order to do a Socratic circle style conversation with you, it's necessary that you're present. Okay. So in order to be present, I need to be able to see you. All right. So that's what we're going to shoot for. We're going to shoot for us being able to see you. You see me, right? Not always put together 100% probably the way I should be, but I think it's important that we see each other. So in completing our conversation next week, please be prepared for that. I'm going to grade it. It's going to be a graded assignment. And I'm going to grade it the same way that I grade Socratic Circles in person, where you guys are having a conversation. It's going to be a list of questions. I will give you those questions to prep for later this week. It'll be before the weekend, probably Friday. So just where the weekend starts, to give you an opportunity to prep for those ahead of time. And that will count for one of your assignments next week, that prep work. All right. So I'll give you some more reminders throughout the week, but that's kind of what we're looking for next week. Please be ready for that. All right. All right. So that's it. That's all I got. Hopefully this was helpful. Please use this resource to complete your work. And if you need assistance, please let me know. And yeah, that's about it. So have a great day. Hopefully you guys have a great week. Hopefully you guys are having a good Memorial Day, and I will talk to you later.